And welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that in the 2006 3M Performance 400, which was called early on lap 129, to this point, 37 of the 43 cars were on the lead lap, setting a record that still stands today for the most cars on the lead lap at the end of the Cup race.
Wow.
Cars who failed to complete all 129 laps were Tony Raines, Clint Bowyer, J.J. Yaley, Tony Stewart, Ken Schrader, and Derek Cope. Those three had crashed. Casey Kane was declared the winner once the rain came rushing in, and Carl Edwards and Dale Earnhardt Jr. completed the top three. Kane led 19 laps from the pole for win number 4 of 2006. We found this fact because of the NASCAR hotspot on Instagram, so thank you to him for showing us this fact. So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, a.k.a. Mike Bob Fan 101. With my good friends and co-host, Christian, a.k.a. Savage NASCAR.
What it do, Nasboys crew?
And Cam, a.k.a. Noticed_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
I believe, here's another fact. I believe this is the first episode with the three of us in about a month. Can't remember. But
I don't know if it's been exactly a month, but it's been close.
well, yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah, we all have very different schedules, basically. So, anyways, let's get down to talking about this weekend's races over at Indianapolis with Lucas Oil Raceway Park and the Indianapolis Road Course. Kicking it off with the truck race. What did you guys think of it?
I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, it was really good, and the trucks need to come back there. They've raced at Indianapolis Raceway Park before. I don't know if that's the exact name of the track, but they've been there before, and it seems like a great track. So bring it back. Plus, it had a drama in this race. So, Cam, did you watch it?
Yes, I did get to watch it. There was definitely a little bit of drama, and for me, this track actually had a lot of in general, there was definitely a lot of more competitiveness than I thought there would be.
Yeah, I agree, Cam. It was a pretty good race. I managed to watch most of it. The track was very racy. We saw a lot of craziness too, like John Hunter Nemechek dumping Taylor Gray. Carson Hocevar, he got upset with Colby Howard. I'm trying to think who won that race. I believe,
Brandon Finger that won the truck.
Brandon Finger, yes. Brandon Finger had the best truck that night. Now it's coming back to me. He had the best truck. He was running well with Carson Hocevar in the lead. Carson was leading a little bit, but then Grant had caught up to him. It looked like there was a lot of great battles, and that battle for the lead was great for about 10 laps. So it just looked really competitive and a lot of good racing, which I really enjoyed. And I would really like to see them go back to that track again. That was really a fun race. And like I mentioned, there was a lot of drama in this race. So I guess I can start it off with Carson Hocevar dumping Colby Howard. If you haven't seen it, here's that.
Howard was running 8th at the time. Got into Hocevar a little bit right there, and then Hocevar maybe gave him a little payback.
That would be a little bit of a retaliation, looks like.
And ends Colby Howard's.
So, in my opinion, I'm a Hocevar fan, so this is kind of hard for me to talk about, but he was kind of in the wrong. I don't know how exactly to explain it, because I get why he was upset. Howard got into him with his quarter panel. It wasn't terrible, but if he had hit it a little harder, Hocevar would have had his back end go to the wall. So I completely understand where Hocevar was upset, but I think Hocevar took it a little too far, where he just completely came down and turned him. It was clearly on purpose, clearly to get retaliation for the move. And I don't know if that's because it's the truth that the people in the truck series don't race with as much respect as you'd see normally, and I can understand that, but I don't know. It was just wild and kind of uncharacteristic for Hocevar. So I'm not really taking anybody's side, because I understand why both drivers would be upset. But however, the John Hunter Nemechek and Taylor Gray thing.
On the bottom of the racetrack. Look at John Hunter driving hard. John Hunter just spits him out.
Nemechek into Taylor Gray, and that's going to bring out the caution. Oh, my goodness. We didn't see the white, so we're going to re-rack them and do it again.
Look who's leading.
Zane Smith right up there.
How can you just turn the leader?
That was completely uncalled for on Nemechek's fault. He claimed that he didn't make the corner or whatever. He had a problem with his truck. I don't know, but from what it looked like to me, he just completely came up the track and turned Taylor Gray for no reason, even though Taylor Gray had an absolute clean restart. He doesn't get any chances in the front, whereas Nemechek is one of the best trucks week after week, and he's in KBM equipment, which is probably the best truck team, if you ask me, and just completely turns him and just looked like a scared little brat in his interview. And that's why I don't like JHN. I haven't liked JHN for the longest time, but this gives me even more of a reason to not like him. So very unfortunate to see Taylor Gray get taken out like that.
Yeah, agreed. And I will say Ben Rhodes had a strong car. I picked him to win, and he ended up getting second, if I'm correct. But, I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, it's a bad look for him. And I know it's like the first race of the playoffs or whatever for the truck series. So a lot of guys are trying to move people out of the way, so they get more points. And it sucks for Tanner Gray.
Yeah, going over the whole, what Mike was talking about, I think, first of all, I think both were kind of overreactions in my mind. Like Hocevar, I think that whole issue was an overreaction. I think it was a little bit of like a racing incident, in my opinion. It was at first a racing incident, but clearly that changed. And then with JHM, man, I just think it was scummy, in my opinion, a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna call him a liar and say it, but it just looks awful, awful giving that he turned him on purpose. And I just think, and then for you to not even admit it, I just think it makes you look more like a wuss. Take an L like a man, if I have to get wrecked next week, I hope you do. Or close. I hope he gets his listen, man, I feel so bad for Tanner Gray. I feel so bad. I hope he gets his vengeance.
Yeah. I mean, Zane Smith got it for him. If you watch the end of the race, you'll see Zane Smith, he came up to John Hunter Nemechek, completely put him in the wall. So absolute W move by Zane Smith. Here it is.
NASCAR overtime seems quite fitting on the return to IRP. Who's going to win it?
Oh, a great start by John Hunter that time.
Zane surges back side by side. Nemechek gets into the wall. Zane didn't give him a whole lot of room. Here comes Infinger down the backstretch, battling with Ankrum for second. Infinger gets the spot.
Boy, look at that thing. Look at those new tires on the bottom.
Infinger on the inside now, challenging Zane Smith. The white flag is out. Grant Infinger on the final lap closes the door on Zane Smith, and now Rhodes comes up to challenge Zane. Grant Infinger entered the playoffs 9th out of 10 drivers. A subpar season, but he has turned it around in one start of the playoffs. Grant Infinger wins at IRP.
Yeah, but to be fair, hold on. So to be fair, it always feels way better when you do it to somebody, not having someone else do it for you.
No, I agree, but I just thought it was cool to see Zane Smith do that.
Yeah, I'm not even a huge. Well, I don't mind Zane Smith.
Zane Smith's cool. He's one of those drivers that I'm neutral with, which is most of the drivers in the trucks. So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 78% of you said great, 22% of you said good, 0% of you said meh/okay, and none of you said bad. Henry24257 says lots of side-by-side racing. # keep IRP 9 out of 10. And Aurora_Wolf_19 says awesome racing throughout the event, solid battles, and a new winner. Hold on, there's more. What more do we need? Yeah, exactly. So for the Tanner Gray and JHN incident, 11% of you were on JHN's side and 89% of you were on Taylor Gray's side.
11%?
That's just one
That
person.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Oh,
I was
never
gonna say
mind.
that's
Two people.
wait.
Wait, never mind. No, there's not. Never mind. I'm done. There was one person.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say like, that's way too high.
So Henry says Nemechek got desperate. Completely agree. And Aurora Wolf said, I like JHN, but that was ridiculous of him. So for the Hocevar and Colby Howard thing, 25% of people were on Hocevar's side and 75% of people were on Howard's side. And Aurora Wolf says, I like Carson, but that was a little uncalled for. Driver of the day, Lane Riggs. Man got P7 in his first Truck Series start. That deserves some props. Yeah, but I didn't really see him like running up in the front as much. I mean, he did a good job, but you could say the same for Colby Howard. Colby Howard was up in the top 10 toward the end of the race, and then he got taken out by Hocevar. So I got to give it to Grant Enfinger. I think he had the best truck. He looked really strong on the track. So overall, I think my driver of the day is Grant Enfinger.
Nothing different.
Yep, I agree.
All right, now let's talk about the Xfinity race. What did you guys think?
Bring back the oval. NASCAR, please, we're begging you to bring back the oval. It's not the same. The road course is a wreck fest. The Brickyard 400 deserves a lot more prestige and respect than it has the last 2 years. You have the audacity to name a road course race the Brickyard. I do not like it. And y'all know this, but I didn't watch the Xfinity race at all live. I just saw highlights, a couple clips, because I knew it wasn't going to be a good race, and it wasn't. But I will say, shout out Cam for getting your second straight Xfinity pick right. You've got picks right the last 2 weeks, and AJ winning, not surprised. He led 42 62 laps. Myatt Snyder, I picked him to win 33rd, 2 laps down. But I will say there are 6 of the 10 drivers in the top 6 drivers in the top 10 have had Cup experience, and Cup experience played a factor in this race. And was that a surprise? No. Ross Chastain again, top 5. You love to see it. Chase Briscoe as well, in the top 5, and Alex Bowman second. But other than that, I am not a fan of the Indy Road Course, and I have more to say about the Cup race. But what about you, Cam? What do you think about Xfinity race?
I did the same thing you did. I found out before I even watched the race that Allmendinger won, which I was happy about. I don't know if these guys take it serious, but I'm a competitive person. So when it comes to getting votes right and guessing who's right, who's going to win the race, I get super competitive about it. I just don't show that competitive side. So, if you guys ever hear me on the podcast say, man, that was a good pick, and I say it to one of you guys, and you guys hear me say it to one of them, that just lets you know that I wish I would have picked them instead. But I watched the highlights, and just like Christian said, I don't think it deserves to be called the Brickyard 400, or the Brickyard, in general, my fault, Brickyard. I think it's just some mass disrespect, kind of takes away its title a little bit. It was a reg fest. Kind of just a crap show. It really, it's bad when the highlights were boring. It just, like I said, bring back the oval.
Yeah, I got mixed opinions on bringing back the oval because I wouldn't mind seeing it with the next gen, because the next gen has seemed to fix mid tracks that were mid with the Gen 6. But I somewhat agree with what people are saying, because there were people that were like, no, get rid of the Indy Oval, or get rid of this, get rid of that. And they got rid of it, but now all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's bring back Kentucky. Let's bring back Chicagoland. Let's bring back the Indy Oval. I wouldn't mind seeing the oval come back, but I believe that Roger Penske, who owns the track now, he said that he wouldn't mind seeing the oval come back for a race, maybe alternating between the road course and the oval some years. Like 1 year they'll race on the oval, the next year they'll race on the road course. I wouldn't mind seeing 2 dates like Charlotte, like how Charlotte has the oval, and then the next time around they'll go to the Roval. So I don't know. I would like to see the oval come back with just because of the prestigious history, but it hasn't been good in a while. But then again, that was because of the Gen 6, and the Gen 6 just was not made for that track, especially with the packages that they did toward the end of the run. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it happens with the oval if they do decide to bring it back.
And, like I said, with the other tracks that people are saying bring back, it's like the only one that I would even consider maybe is Kentucky. And Kentucky has not put out the best races, and I know people are probably giving me crazy looks, which is understandable. But I don't know. I just feel like Kentucky's got a place in my heart. I don't know why. Because they haven't produced good racing in like so many years. But I don't know. It's just something about it. I think it's just because how I like the track in general and how it looks. I like that track, but man, it does not produce good racing. I wish it did.
I don't really like Kentucky that much. I'm glad it's off the schedule, but maybe you can give it another try with the next gen.
I like Cam's points here because, personally, I wish they would have never got rid of Kentucky because I thought it was really solid some years. That one race in 2020, Custer, and all the 3 and 4 by battles we saw, that was really good. Then, of course, the battle of Kurt and Kyle. And yes, Kentucky had its issues, but it wasn't a bad track. It wasn't at all. Chicagoland was way worse than Kentucky. And I do agree with Cam on the part of Kentucky, but Indianapolis road course needs to go. It's not for stock cars. It's if anything, it's for open wheel cars. It has not proven to be a good track for stock cars, and the next gen car needs a chance on the oval.
Right. I feel like that both tracks are more for the open wheel cars, not really for the stock cars. But I would like to see next year the next gens go on the oval just so I can get an opinion on it.
Yep. Well, we're going to get back after this quick break.
All right. All right, guys. So we are back. So let's talk a little bit more about the Xfinity race.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, it's my
I don't either.
I
thought we already did Xfinity. I thought we were just going on to the Cup.
Well, we need to do the fans. We need to do where people are talking about the race and the story, the polls. We need to do that.
Oh.
Well, I guess while we're at it, I watched some of it. I fell asleep through part of it, and then I watched the final laps. Congratulations to AJ Allmendinger yet again. Great run by him, as per usual on road courses. So that's really all I got to say. So let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 25% of you said great, 50% of you said good, 25% of you said meh/okay, and none of you said bad. Henry24257 says, got strung out at some points. Last year's race was better, in my opinion. At least AJ won, 6 out of 10. No driver of the day. I didn't watch it long enough to really gauge for a driver of the day, so I'll give it to AJ.
Yeah, AJ led the most laps. He led all but 20, so it's definitely him.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm going with AJ too.
And shout out to there were some people that got AJ right. Shout out to they call me _Lucius. He also got another pick right. I can't remember who it was, but he did get a pick right. Hunter C _06 and Dalton.Malak _9 for all guessing AJ Allmendinger. Great job, guys.
Oh, and congrats to me.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Oh, yeah, I already mentioned you. So,
well, due to the fact you are on the podcast, we will not give you a shout out. You get a free shout out just by being here. All right, so now let's talk about the Cup race, which is going to potentially be Mike versus Christian 2.0.
Oh, yes. Listen, here's the thing, guys. I'm just going to say this now, that me being me, I probably will be on Mike's side, depending on what Christian says about this case of you know what. But I'm going to be the middleman, so get ready.
So, I will say I've already talked about my opinion on the road course, so I'm not going to go over that again. Cup race, Tyler Reddick was obviously like the fastest car. He led 38 of the 86 laps, and It was okay for some of it, but there was just too many wrecks. Christopher Bell, he was up there. He had a chance. He ended up getting caught up in something. He led 17 laps, and I mean, he should have been up there in the top three. Ryan Blaney should have been up there too, but he got taken out. Turn one is just is nonsense with the stock cars because everyone just sends it into turn one, runs everyone over, and every restart there was someone getting spun out. I mean, we saw Kevin Harvick get taken out in a spin.
I can't believe. Oh no!
And around goes
The
off
four,
the front
Harvick.
of the Ty Gibbs. It's Harvick.
We saw Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman.
Right, just one on your left, one on your right now. Middle.
A lot of contact. Around goes three cars now
The
around.
9 car. Chase Elliott is spun out.
24 William Byron also has been around. And now Eric Jones in the 43 goes around.
Truex. Dillon.
Keep going.
Austin Dillon in the 3 stops in the gravel.
Truex with a flat left front tire. Can he get out of that gravel?
If Dillon doesn't get it fired back up and going,
So far, he's still sitting there, guys. Hasn't moved yet.
that's going to be another caution. He's trying
stuck.
to back up and he can't. He's stuck.
He's stuck.
This is going to have to be a yellow. NASCAR's going to give him as much time as possible, but at some point the cars are going to go speed through there. There you go. There's the yellow.
caution, and we'll have another restart.
And it was just chaos. But I will say on the final restart, I do not blame Ross Chastain one bit for not going into turn one because he was going to get ran off the track and spun out. He took the access road.
A car length on second.
Look for you right now. Middle. Your middle. One on your right.
Somebody
Still one on your right.
missed the turn entirely.
Still middle.
3 wide, 4 wide per second.
12
Here comes
around.
Austin Cindric. Ryan Blaney sideways in front of the field.
Keep digging.
Side by side up front, though. Chastain. He's right there. They're going side by side through the kink.
And I feel like a 30-second penalty was a little too much. But he did go through the access road. Same thing, Austin Dillon, I think, went through it as well. And Chastain gave a great effort for the lead. But Tyler Reddick, obviously, a fast car, he's making a huge mistake by leaving RCR. And the A team's really strong. Him leaving RCR it's just stupid, honestly. And I think Hamlin should get penalized for tampering or something because he was still under contract. They need to have tampering rules in NASCAR.
I agree. I think that whole Tyler Reddick and 23XI thing in general was just sketch in my mind. I mean, it sounds like RCR didn't really know about it. I mean, it was just weird in general, in my opinion. To go on the race, though, I actually thought there was some good battles, even in the back and in the front. It was a decent race. Wasn't really boring either in my mind. And, on that whole Ross Chastain situation, do I think it was innovative? Yes. But do I think it was smart? No, because it ended up costing him like it should have. I think with reason, there was a reason why he got that. I mean, you're supposed to turn when you would. But I also kind of think that NASCAR should have blocked that if they're not able to access it. I mean, I get why he did it. He didn't want to cause his car to wreck. But at the same time, it's like you still cause yourself in playoff times. So does it really matter?
He's already in the playoffs, though. So why? I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but points, though.
What points? He's still second in points. He's been second in points for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it could have cost him race points, Christian.
I know, but it's not a big deal, honestly, at the end of the day.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a smart move.
It's a smart move. Yeah, it was a smart move for him to avoid going into turn
No,
one.
it was innovative, not smart.
Then why do you say smart?
I said it wasn't
Make
smart.
up your mind.
I'm saying it was a smart. It wasn't I'm saying bro, what? I'm saying that it was innovative.
It was. It was.
I mean,
But it was
innovative
not
and smart
smart.
are similar. So
No, they're not. No, it's different because innovative's kind of like, see, now we're gonna get in this argument. Gosh darn it. Here we go. Innovative is more like when you have a tough spot, I feel like, and you change it and you make it where it's like, okay, that's innovative. Like, I don't know, like, you ever see those people where it's like they have something and then they make it better, and it's like it's easier for you, like broke people hacks. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like that's innovative. What he did was innovative, but was it smart? No.
Okay, well, when you explain it like that, I get it. But yeah, I didn't watch the race. I did see that big wreck with Kyle Larson and Ty Dillon though.
I'm not sure what could have led to this. As you see Ty climbing out, there's Kyle Larson.
Kyle was already multiple laps down, just trying to finish his day out.
So the AMR safety team there tending to Ty Dillon as Kyle Larson's going to jog his way back into the infield.
And I think Kyle and him's going to talk about it for a second.
Wanted to figure out what went wrong there. Let's take a look.
Oh boy, my goodness.
Oh, and I'm sure Kyle was coming over to apologize.
Some sort of mechanical issue on the 5 car for him. Look at that. He is flying when he comes in there.
That was really, really scary. Not sure what happened to Larson's car. He just kind of sent it in there, and then all of a sudden Ty Dillon was just unlucky and just got involved. I'm not sure what happened because I heard he was 100% on the brakes from NBC's data, and then Hendrick said that they found no evidence of brake failure. So what I think it has something to do with the brake fluid, whether the brake fluid overheated or they didn't put enough in the car to make the brakes work. I don't know what happened, but it was definitely a bizarre situation, and I'm glad that it did not end up even worse, because if there was a wall there, that would have been really, really bad.
Yeah, that was a hard hit, and Ty Dillon was running great in the race. I mean, he was up there in top 10. He gets wiped out. His car was destroyed. And Kyle Larson, I picked him to win. I think Mike did as well. And
I did too.
Or it was either, but Kyle Larson was a favorite, I think, and then he just does that. But he was just like, I'm around, won't stop, So basically, turn 1 is just chaos for any series. I mean, we've seen it with the IndyCar too, but I will say this: Joey Logano made things really tough in turn 1 on that one restart. He made it 5 wide and just stove it into that corner, bro. He's like, I don't care about anyone else. I'm just going to dive it into this turn.
Let's see what happened with those guys. Chase 12 gets into Chase a little bit. Unintentional contact there between friends, but
here we go.
I mean, I saw that. I mean, it was kind of bad. I can see like where he's getting criticized, but like it's not like enough to completely criticize him for. But he does deserve some criticism for that. Turn 1, in my opinion, should get widened, in my opinion, because it did seem like a lot of cars were going into turn 1 and just sending it there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Tums heartburn turn. They could put another sign there that says that. But I definitely think they should widen it, because I can see, which will lead into my opinion on the Chastain thing, I can see why Chastain took the access road. I think what people had a problem with, and I kind of had a problem with this too, is that he shot up the access road and then he went right into second, kind of like what happened with Chase Briscoe last year when Briscoe got penalized because he cut through the grass and he went right behind Hamlin like he was battling him for second. So I think that's the problem that people had. So I completely agree that it should be a penalty. I don't know about him finishing 27th. I think maybe just give him a time penalty at the most, because I understand why he took it. I think that they should appeal that, but I don't know if you can appeal penalties, or at least make some compromise that they'll give him second back, but just take like 5 to 10 seconds off his time. I don't know how that works when it's with road course penalties, because there's just not as many road course penalties as in NASCAR. So if you know the answer to that, comment down below, please, because I would like to know. But overall, it wasn't a completely dumb decision. It's just that he probably shouldn't have been trying to battle for the lead, because that would have screwed Reddick over if he had done something. But yeah.
Oh, you're good. I was gonna say that, that whole situation of how he boosted up was kind of reminds me of like when remember you guys when Denny Hamlin went over the double yellow and like everybody was like, oh my gosh, and how it was a big old cheat code basically.
Yes.
Yes, that's the exact same thing, because I look at it as it's you know, like, it's the exact same thing. Yes, he may have gotten pushed down, whatever people want to argue, but he went over the double yellow and he ended up in a better position than what he was. And like I said, and just the same thing with Ross Chastain. Went into the other turn and came out in a better position, like by a far, like by like 3, like at least 4 cars, at least.
Yeah. I could see where they would, they should have possibly lowered him position wise, but not 30 seconds. I will say Hamlin, when he went below the yellow line, has no similarity with this because first off, that was Talladega and there was no wreck right in front of him. So he went below the yellow line. He got away with it. Chastain, he didn't use a double yellow line. Mm-hmm. He literally went to the access road. But then again, I think road courses in NASCAR should have no time penalties. And that's just my personal opinion. I think it's stupid. If you remember when we were watching Riverside, they were going off the track past the people. Did they get penalized?
Right. No.
Like, no. I mean, it's just ridiculous how NASCAR is like, oh, yeah, we're going to try to do an F1 and IndyCar where you penalize cars that are going off into the grass. Like, I just don't. I think it's delusional, but.
Right, because, I mean, sometimes they can't handle it. Sometimes they'll get forced down there.
Exactly.
Sometimes they'll just go down there.
But in Ross Chastain's situation, though, he wasn't forced.
He was not going to make it.
I kind of look at it like when you're racing and you have a wreck in front of you and you go down to the pits. I kind of look at it like that, but Ross Chastain just shot up to second like it was a shortcut in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with him avoiding the wreck. I just had a problem that he went up to second in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I get y'all's opinions on this. You know, I feel like everyone has the right to their own opinion, and I mean, I think everyone has a good opinion on it.
Right, and another thing too, like after I watched it like 5 times to like see like what people were talking about with him avoiding the wreck. And I could just envision Chastain, if he did take that corner, he could have either went down below the track and probably still gotten a time penalty. So he's getting a time penalty either way, but it looked like he could have gotten spun out if he had still taken that corner, unless he went all the way down to where that curb was.
Can we talk about real quick? Sorry. Can we talk about real quick with the race how there was 3 rookies in the top 5 at the finish. It was the first time, if I'm correct, that that's happened since 1994. We saw Harrison Burton and Todd Gillen, 2 big supporters of the onboards account. They finished 3rd and 4th, and Cindric got 2nd. We also saw Bubba Wallace surprisingly finishing in the top 5 on a road course. Isn't that a miracle?
Yeah. I don't know how Bubba Wallace did it, but good for him. I don't even know how Todd Gillen and Harrison Burton did it as well, but you know what? Good for them as well. Harrison Burton and Todd Gillen have had tough seasons. Austin Cindric has had a mediocre season, so he needed that. All 3 of those guys, actually all 4 of those guys really needed good runs, and they got their good runs. So good for all of them. So now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 0% of you said great. 86% of you said good. 14% of you said mess okay, and none of you said bad.
Wow, that's surprising. I thought there'd be people saying it was bad.
Yeah, I know. Henry24257 says, lots of wrecks and spins, not what the greatest stock car drivers in the world should be doing. At least Reddick won, 6 out of 10. I can understand his point to some extent.
4 out of 10 race.
The race was fun, but overall it was a wreck fest. 8 out of 10. From Keith Aurora _Wolf_19.
Keith, that's an L take. I'm sorry.
So for the Chastain thing, should Chastain have gotten penalized? 78% of you said yes, and 22% of you said no. Let's see. We got Henry saying it should have been a time penalty. I agree, Henry. Aurora _Wolf_19 said, I didn't agree with it, and he deserved that penalty. This is coming from a Ross fan. Diego _Sousa or _Sousa__15, I believe his name is, says, I think it's a penalty because he didn't take the same way as the others because he couldn't get by on there.
Huh? Okay, I'm not even going to even say anything on that because
That
we've
face
already
was so
talked
funny
about it.
though, Christian. I gotta take a screenshot of it when I upload this.
But I mean, I was going to mention this too, real quick. We mentioned Ty Gilliland, but what about Michael McDowell? Front Row Motorsports has been really good the last couple races. They've been in the top 10 consistently.
Yeah, even though they got that penalty.
Except for that. I mean, a little bit of a bias because I kind of like Front Row and Michael McDowell, but it's kind of funny. I actually ran to an employee that works with them at a gas station a couple days ago, and we were just talking about their season and everything, and they've turned things around. I mean, over the years, they've improved. I mean,
Right.
it's really cool to see them make the playoffs again, but I don't think that's a possibility now.
Well, unless he wins Daytona, he's always a sleeper pick down there.
Yeah.
So winning the
I think
2021 Daytona 500.
I think with this new gen and also them increasingly just getting better, they've done what a team should do when they're trying to come up and be good, make adjustments, and they're improving, and not only are they improving, but they're genuinely spending money into their team and into their cars, and I think that's very valuable.
Right, I agree, Cam. So driver of the day is a tie between Tyler Reddick and Chris Buescher for some reason. I'm gonna give it to Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, that's obvious, Tyler Reddick.
I mean, Buescher, he started 16th and he finished 10th, but I don't think he's a driver today. I'd have to give it to Reddick. I mean, he did lead the most laps pretty much other than Bell, and he was up front and everything. And I was really saddened to hear about how he never went to Richard Childress about his decision to leave the team.
Oh, yes.
That made me hurt because, I mean, first off, Tyler Reddick, I would think of him better to do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, with his character and everything and how he is, like, why would you not talk to your team owner about leaving the team?
He didn't talk to him? Whoa, I didn't
He
even
even
know
talked
that.
to Richard Childress. Richard Childress even said in the interview, we had no discussion on what he was doing contract-wise.
Yeah.
And it's like Hamlin tampered. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't like Hamlin.
Hamlin's I'm not going to say what I want to say, and I'm not going to say what came across my mind. I'm sorry.
Anyways, Mike.
I was going to say, I was talking to Christian about this last night, and I can't believe we did not mention that when we had put in our thoughts on Reddick and 23XI, but after thinking about it, it was so obviously tampering. Like, Reddick did not mention he wanted to leave RCR. It just all of a sudden happened, breaking. Reddick is going to go to 23XI.
Yeah.
I truly believe that's tampering. The only excuse that I could potentially give for Reddick, I have no other excuses for him, and I am not defending him on this. I'm on Childress' side on this, even though I don't like him that much. The only excuse I can give is in like 2020 or some year like that, because there was a lot of people around that time speculating that Reddick was going to leave RCR because they didn't give him the best equipment. And obviously Richard Childress is putting a lot of emphasis on his grandson, Austin. So I feel like he may have been upset about the treatment that Austin was getting, like with Kevin Harvick, for example. But Kevin Harvick was very professional enough to go to Richard Childress and discuss, look, I don't want to race for the team anymore. I want to go race for Stuart Haas and Tony Stewart. And that's what Reddick should have done. Reddick should have been like, look, I feel like this is not working out at RCR. I don't feel as valued here. I want to go to another team, or I want to go to 23XI, and can I opt out of my contract, or can I go there in 2024? But if he didn't say anything and that just happened right out of the blue, major L by Tyler Reddick. That is just completely disrespectful on so many levels. That's like if you're working at a grocery store, like say you're working at like Harris Teeter, for example, and you don't tell Harris Teeter that you're going to go to a competitor like Safeway.
Yeah, my thing on it though is that I'm not trying to defend Tyler Reddick at all, but just to put this perspective out there, Tyler Reddick's a young guy, and and I still think he has a lot to learn in NASCAR and then the Cup Series, and you can't help but wonder if, not saying knowing Denny Hamlin, but knowing Denny Hamlin, if they kind of just told him, oh yeah, this contract, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do this like this way.
Like
and
manipulation. Yeah.
Yeah, manipulation kind of, and like just tricking him into thinking it's okay to do this not mid-season, but late season, not even much ending. And then Danny Hamlin even going on to add, hey, you don't have to go to Richard Childress about this. Just leave it. He'll understand completely. He'll be fine. And he's a young guy, so you can kind of wonder if maybe, and I'm not saying it's not his fault, because it really, you should have just the common sense and common decency to do that.
Right.
But you can't. But at the same time, though, when you have someone else in your ear and on your shoulder telling you what to do and telling you, oh, you should do this way and that way and that way, it's kind of hard. He's a young guy and he's gonna make some dumb decisions. And I'm sure in the next couple of years you'll see an apology video of him, of him saying, "Hey, sorry, this, that, and I regret this. When I was younger, I did this mistake and I felt bad about it, and I wish I could have went back." 100% think this.
I mean, he's not that young, but I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree.
I mean, he's like, I'm looking up his age right now. He's like 26.
Well, I'm not saying, no. But listen, here's my thing. I'm saying young in NASCAR, like the Cup Series. He's young in the Cup Series.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be the same thing as if he did it to like an Xfinity or a truck team too. It'd still be scummy, but I understand.
I'm with you about that.
I agree with your point, especially with Hamlin. Like, I could definitely see Hamlin in those discussions being like, "Oh, you don't have to tell Richard this. He's not going to mind." When in reality, Richard probably wants to rip both their heads off. So
my thing is, it's just like you made an announcement so like early. It's just like it's got to be awkward with him and Richard. I just can't imagine it isn't.
Oh yeah, I mean, then there was another post too by NASCAR Hotspot. We mentioned him earlier in the episode where he was showing other drivers that have done similar moves where they sign on for like 2 to 3 seasons in advance, but they continue racing with other teams. And they either race with like a crappy team, like with Clint Boyer, and he raced with H. Scott before he went to Stuart Haas, or they just run their contract out and they don't give him the best equipment. So I don't know what's going to happen with Reddick. Apparently, he's going to run his contract out. But if I was Richard Childress, I would have removed him. So I guess we can talk about the meme of the week now.
Yay, memes!
So my pick for meme of the week is this one by our friend the_laugh_lap. Here it is. So for context, this is what happened with John Hunter Nemechek and Taylor Gray. And of course, Kyle Busch is the team owner, so yeah.
Yep, that's it. I feel like we were all enjoying one on that being a meme week. There was a couple other ones I like too. There was one I saw. I forgot who made it, but it's basically Kyle Larson like on the straightaways and showing this guy going like 200 miles an hour. Then there's the Roadrunner meme. But
brakes, Buford!
But probably one of my favorite ones was definitely Eric Almiroli's, where it's like Larson and Ty Dillon talking to each other. And Larson's like, "Ty, I'm sorry. Yes, I was using ARCA brakes." That was a good meme.
Cam?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Mike. The laugh lap meme. I like that one. It's my favorite.
All right. So now
I think another one too, real quick. There was one of Kyle Larson, but they put his name on Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul jumping down on the guy during the SummerSlam WWE thing. That was pretty funny. But I want to say before we get to top 10, I actually got this thing from Brandon. It's the Winston Cup style points, what the points would be if it was the Winston Cup. Now, I'm just going to go through some of these because they're kind of surprising. So, of course, the top 2 is Chase Elliott and Chastain, which the difference is 139 points. But Ryan Blaney, 3rd, actually, if this is Winston Cup. We got Kyle Larson up there. Kevin Harvick, 6th, which then again, I've been saying these playoffs have been screwing him over, just being honest with you. Same thing with like some other guys that should be in there. Eric Almirola, 12th. And people say he's washed. He's in Winston Cup points. Imagine, bro, he's in the top 12. But We see Austin Dillon 16th. Denny Hamlin, where he deserves, 21st. A lot of drivers that are not with the current system are farther back would be up in the top 10 in points in Winston Cup. It's pretty crazy.
Right. That might have been made by the Iceberg. I know that he makes those.
Yeah, it probably was made by him, but I saw the screenshot from Brandon. So
let's see. I'm trying to see where Brad Keselowski is at because I'm genuinely curious about that.
Nowhere to be seen.
Wow, that's incredible.
He's like below 30th, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. He's had a very crappy season.
And I told you, going to RFK Racing and owning that team was a mistake, and here we are. So
it was a major mistake. I was just thinking that early today. I get why he did it, but it was a big mistake. He should have just stayed at Penske.
Hello, everyone. It's C-Will, aka Savage NASCAR. And for this week's Top 10, we got the top 10 moments at Michigan International Speedway. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off at number 10, we got Jimmy Johnson and Greg Biffle running out of fuel in the final laps of the 2009 LifeLock 400 at Michigan, giving Mark Martin the win. Here's the finish.
White flag is out. Jimmy Johnson's out of fuel. Jimmy Johnson is out of fuel. Biffle leads. White flag in the air. This is the last lap.
Biffle may be the new Silver Fox.
Well, hang on. We got a long way to go. You got Mark Martin sitting right there. Mark just moved to second.
Biffle's, he looks to be slow.
He's slowing. Is he slowing?
He's off the pace.
He's off the pace.
Here comes Mark Martin.
Oh, he's barreling.
Oh, my God. Oh, look at Biffle.
He's shaking it. He just went to the switch.
Here comes Mark. Oh, no.
Half a lap from the finish. Mark Martin to the lead.
Incredible.
Does he have enough fuel?
This is drama, dude. This is...
Oh, yeah, he can coast from here.
He's
got it. Biffle's going to coast.
He's got four wins here and another one today. Mark Martin takes the checkered flag at Michigan.
At number 9, we got Bobby Allison going from 7th to 1st in a chaotic turn of events in the finish of the 1981 Gabriel 400. Here's the call by MRN.
Petty rolling very slowly down the backstretch. Kyle, that is, who was having a good, strong race. He was running one lap down behind the leaders, and he was within the top 15 cars.
Tough break for him. Here comes the front runners back to the start-finish line. Waltrip by 2 car lengths this time over Buddy Baker, then about another car length back to Earnhardt, and about a second and a quarter back to Benny Parsons and Cale Yarborough. They had linked up in a tight draft, and Eli, they looked like they'd make a little ground on the front threesome.
They're reeling them in. I bet we have a car upside into the wall now. The Armco retainer catches Cale Yarborough as the car got sideways. One other car, 2 other cars spin now as Buddy Baker spins. Likewise, other automobiles off turn number 2. 2 other cars spin midway down the back straightaway.
It's Earnhardt and
Waltrip. Earnhardt and Waltrip spin. Here come 2 other cars spinning off the turn. It's going to be Lake Speed spinning now towards the infield. Likewise, Roger Hamby as everybody spins in turn number 1 and 2 after Cale Yarborough's car seemed to lift just a bit on the right side into the Armco retaining barrier.
Here comes the race back to the start-finish line. Running for the lead, it's Gant and Parsons coming to the stripe. Down to the low side, Gant, it's Allison, Bobby Allison, just ahead of Harry Gant and Benny Parsons to race back to the caution flag.
Coming in at number 8 on this list is Bill Elliott, sweeping both Michigan races in 1985 and 1986. Awesome Bill won 4 straight races at the track. At number 7, we got Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting into Carl Edwards while battling for the win in the 2006 Carfax 250 Xfinity Series race. Here's what happened.
Got a good restart. He's right on the back. He's going to take a look, and Earnhardt's going to be up on the high side. Carl Edwards has got his mirrors full. He's a little bit loose off of 2. He's sideways.
Edwards is around.
And he got turned.
Oh. Caution flag is out. The race is over.
Get fired up, get around here.
We'll have to wait and get the official scoring. We'll wait on word from NASCAR. If the caution comes out, and here comes Carl Edwards back out on the track.
Carl runs into the 8 car.
2 different issues here. First, Bill, Carl, let's talk about the incident between yourself and Junior.
Oh, I just was
Man, I was having a good time racing. Our Henkel guys did a great job, and he just wrecked me off too. So I just want to make sure, he knew that I was mad that he wrecked me. But oh well, that's racing. I don't know what else to say. Man.
And you requested that they review the video.
Well, I'm sure. NASCAR had a meeting with us the other day, Tony and I, and said they weren't going to stand for that stuff. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I hope Dale's. I don't know what to say. It's racing. I was just upset.
Did you get too loose off of turn 2? The video looks like you got a little loose off of 2.
We broke something. I think it was traction. So we'll see. I mean, it's just.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I ain't going to get mad. I've had enough stuff happen lately. I'm just having a good time, and I just want to make sure he knew that I was upset there. We'll see what happens.
All right, thanks.
Message delivered. Start. Good race car or exciting fast last lap?
Yeah, that was a little crazy. I know Carl's really mad, but we got a run off that corner, and he was sideways, and I don't know if he was going to hit the wall or whatever, but he just checked up, and we got in the back end of him, and I'm sure he's mad and thinks we wrecked him on purpose, but it was the last lap or the second to last lap. We was racing pretty hard there. If I got disqualified, 88 would have won anyway, so it would have been a good deal either way.
Yeah, you win either way, so this is not a bad day.
Not too bad. I'm real proud of Menards and Tony Sr. and all the guys give me a real good car. We weren't good when it counted there at the end. We got tight, and Carl had the best car, but don't always work out that way.
Coming in at number 6 is a very famous one. Kurt Busch versus Jimmy Spencer, Part 4. And it came to a head at the GFS Marketplace 400. Here's how it went down. And also here's Jimmy Spencer's side of the story, which was heard on the Dale Jr. download.
Oh, touch. Hit.
Yeah, they don't forget, do they? Nobody does in this business.
See, I'm not very good at being bad. I was trying to flatten the 7th car fender, and I got mine. I needed to be further forward on his car. And he just showed on TV and just missed by about an inch of being not far enough forward. Inches only count unless you're playing horseshoes and hand grenades. And I don't really want to play either with that clown.
Back bumper up Jimmy Spencer. Spencer gets loose. Wow.
That's arrow loose. It's at its best.
The leader.
You better. What do you got? You have the run of your life.
The garage area may have actually been more exciting than the race. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Spencer kind of duked it out on the racetrack, and that flowed over to the post-race activities. Jimmy actually bumped the number 97 as they entered the garage area, and then sources tell me Jimmy got out of the car, approached Kurt Busch, and actually punched Kurt Busch.
Post-race, you're out of your car.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened, bud. So we were running for the win.
Yeah.
He was too. And we had to pit for fuel. Well, he says he ran out of fuel. Okay. Long story short, you know how Michigan is. You have to come in the pit road.
Yeah.
So as we're coming, I don't know where we finished. Now, my car is here. That bastard comes down there, 300 mile an hour, revving his motor, cuts me off.
After the race.
This is in the garage.
This is before you get in the garage.
Before you get in the garage.
Yeah.
Actually,
I got you.
What's his name? He was there.
All right.
Yeah.
Who was there? All right. Doesn't matter.
We just talked.
Doesn't matter who's there. You tell me.
The truck driver.
Yeah.
Jeff Miles.
Jeff Miles. So anyway, Jeff was always the first one to the car to help me out. But anyway, so now as you're coming down in the thing, all the trucks are lined up, and he has to turn this way, and he pretends his car's not going, and he wants me to hit him. Well, Miles goes, no. So he says, well, my car ran out of gas or whatever. So, he blocks a whole line. He screws everybody. I get out of the car.
Yep.
He calls me to the car. Hey, you old bastard.
That's what he said?
He said, hey, you old bastard. Oh. And my friend, Bobby Allison, says it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. So you walked up to his car.
I walked up to his car.
They're like this in the garage.
I get it. Nose to tail.
Yep.
Like,
I said, get out of the car, and let's just finally settle this. And I says, I'll put one hand behind my back. So he ain't going to get out of the car. This is what he does, Dale. He calls me to the car, sitting in the car, calls me to the car. I go up to the car. He says, you old decrepit has-been, I know where your family lives. And I went like that, and he swings at me.
But he's in the car.
He's in the car. This is how stupid this person can be.
All right.
Boom. And I saw the blood, and I went, no, you coward, and he would not get out of the car. He is.
What did he say when you hit him?
He was shocked, and I didn't really intend to, because he couldn't take a punch. It was just a little backhander.
I know what he said after he hit it.
What did he say?
You're over. You're ended. You're done.
That's right.
That's what Kurt said when he got out of the car.
You had it on tape.
I also have it in my memory. I mean, I know you leaned in there. So what he did is he parked in front of the lift gate. You couldn't pull your car up on the truck.
No.
And he parked in front of it, and he kept you because y'all were playing those games. And then when you went into the, I just remember watching this because you go in and you're leaned in, and I just think y'all were having your conversations. I'd seen you go at Todd Bodine a couple times. I know how these things work. But when he got out with the bloody nose, I was like, oh, he hit him. And then Kurt Busch is like, you're done. You're over. It's over. And he went straight to the NASCAR hauler. And we went straight to your car trying to get out of the track.
You almost made it.
All right, so
we did almost make it.
And what happened?
We were waiting for them to let the line go, and we're like, "Come on, let's get out of here."
I said,
and then the NASCAR.
I'm laying in the back.
That's right.
He was laying in the
we were
back.
trying to do an escape. We were.
Those are good, important details.
Yeah, we went. He's like, "Mike, get the car," and so we get in the car, and then we're laying there, and we're like, "Come on, let the crossover thing go, let it go," and then finally this NASCAR official goes.
I said,
and we're like,
what did the NASCAR official do?
He pointed his finger.
He pointed his finger.
You like, get out. You coming with us.
At number 5, we got Jeff Gordon and Ricky Rutz. Fantastic duel in the 2001 Kmart 400. Here is the finish.
Maintains a 1-car length advantage. Rudd pulls him and gets him at the end of the straightaway. Rudd's probably a tick quicker, but he's not getting through the corner quite as well, off particularly. A little bit quicker. Rudd's going to go to the high side. Take it up there. Take it up there. Loosen her up. That'll give him some momentum.
Looking outside.
That might be his thought. All right, Ricky, come on, buddy. 1 lap to go. And they're side by side at the start-finish line. Rudd with a car length advantage. Get up in front of him. You got to get in front of him. You can't let him come back on the outside. Oh, Rudd just stuck it in too deep at the bottom of turn 1. Lost the momentum. Gordon got the lead. Rudd's coming back. But that should have been Rudd's last lap move. All right, we're going to see what happened. One more set of corners down in turn 3 and 4. Man, he was there. That would have been for the win if it was on this lap. If he can get close enough, he might have a shot to try it again. Rudd tries that high side. I think Gordon knows what he's going to do this time, though. He's going to try to make a run down the hill, Darrell, off turn 4. We'll see what happens. He gets the run. Here he comes. He's going to dive to the bottom. Gordon to block, and Gordon to win. He holds off Ricky Rudd. Wow. Marlon Mayfield at the line. Ryan Newman edges the 90 of Hut Strickland for 5th. But Hut Strickland finished 6th. What a run. Ryan Newman 5th.
Hard to put you do all that work. That's 100. Jeff Craven, get that flag.
At number 4, we got Eric Darnell edging Johnny Benson in a photo finish during the Truck Series race at Michigan in 2008 in the Cool City Customs 200. Here is how it went down.
Final lap, inside of 2 miles to go. We're riding along with Colin Brown.
Oh, we got a spin.
Problems in turn number 1.
No
Sliding
caution.
is Ron Hornaday.
No caution. These guys are racing back. No caution.
Ron Hornaday off the racetrack. The field gets through 1 and 2. They stay green. Eric Darnell tries to hold off Johnny Benson. Here he comes looking to the bottom of the racetrack.
Johnny goes right down to the bottom. What a great job by Eric Darnell. Here comes Tom Bodine.
Johnny Benson looking to the inside. It's door to door as they come to the start-finish line. Johnny Benson trying to get it. He's going to go across the start-finish line. They were almost identical across the start-finish line. We still haven't seen as they have updated the scores.
We couldn't tell. We're right on the start-finish line, and we could not tell who won the race.
They're going to have to go to the camera. They're saying it was that close to find out who won this race. Johnny Benson and Eric Darnell were side by side when they went across the start-finish line.
Let's see what we have on our camera right here. There comes Johnny Benson. He's on the inside right against the gravel.
And Johnny Benson right now has the edge.
But not for long. Here comes Darnell with the momentum on the high side, getting that side draft to the line.
Closing in on the start-finish line.
Eric Darnell.
A dead heat.
I think it's Eric Darnell by
I
inches.
don't know if Johnny Benson might not get the nod.
Coming in at number 3 is Ernie Irvan's emotional win in the 1997 Miller 400.
29th running. On this Father's Day, you couldn't have a more beautiful day for a race. Pace cars coming in. Get ready to go racing. Ernie Irvan, he's down on the inside. He's got his own scores to settle. Ernie Irvan, particularly with this track. This track that nearly cost him his life. It cost him a year in recuperation. Battling for the lead. Down to the inside goes Ernie Irvan, and the California driver is back in front. Here he comes. Around, headed for checkers. Ernie Irvan is finally going to win. The track that nearly did him in for the checkered flag. And he's won the Michigan 400. How about that performance by Ernie Irvan?
Out of his Robert Yates Thunderbird. Ernie, this track nearly took your life. Today you took something back from it, a big win.
I'll tell you, it's pretty emotional. Started about 10 laps to go, started getting tears in my eyes. I tell you, it's great. Only in America, you know what I mean? This Texaco Havoline Ford race team, all the sponsors are unbelievable. And this is the best place to do it. This is Ford Motor Company's, you know, this is their home base in Detroit. And it's great.
A lot of people maybe had written you off after the crash. After this year went along here without a win, people were saying he's moving on, he might not be here, and you told me yesterday what you've got to do is win consistently. You took a big step today.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, it's a lot easier to get sponsors to rally behind you when you win. And, you know, we've been real close this year, but it's just a matter of some bad luck. And, you know, the only way we can get good luck is just keep preparing ourselves and be able to get good race cars every day.
At number 2 is Dale Earnhardt Jr. ending a 143 race winless streak, and it came in the Quicken Loans 400 in 2012.
I wish people at home could be here to see these people in the grandstands and to hear them. We're up here in the TV booth, and you can hear these people.
Junior down the back straightaway and into turn 3 for the final time. There is going to be a party in Junior Nation tonight.
Pretty bad win is one. Hell yeah.
The streak is over. Dale Earnhardt Jr. back to victory lane in Michigan.
Dang. I don't want to say.
He hadn't been able to celebrate in a while. He's going to make this one last. Burn it down, Dale Jr. After 143 races without a win, he's making the donuts on the front straightaway.
Coming in at number 1, in my opinion, the best moment in NASCAR history at Michigan International Speedway came in the 1991 Champion Spark Plug 400, where Dale Jarrett held off Davey Allison by only 10 inches to capture his first career win. Here is the fantastic finish.
White flag, one more lap to go, and Allison has a slight advantage on Jarrett as they head for turn number 1.
But remember, Dale's been going well on the inside. Does he have the right line, though, Bob?
Davey Allison keeps his car in the middle of the racetrack. Dale Jarrett's car is on the low side. Off the 18 degrees of banking, they go down on 5 degrees of banking, and Dale Jarrett wiggles a little. They come out of the second corner. They bump, they touch, they rub, going down the backstretch, side by side, wheel to wheel. Who is it going to be in the Champion Spark Plug 400? Jarrett has the slight advantage as they go into the third and fourth corners. Davey Allison battles back on the outside. It's going to be a photo finish. They touch coming down through the tri-oval at the line. Who wins it? I believe Jarrett.
Congratulations. Oh, wow. Dale Jarrett won it, but it was a photo finish. He didn't win by more than 4 or 5 inches. I tell you, fellas, when he wins his first one, I want him to do it that way, racing for it. And he waves to Davey Allison saying, nice race. Those races they won by just Here's Jerry Punch.
Is this young man happy? Look at him getting hugged and congratulated. My goodness, what a celebration, Dale. Congratulations as all the crew comes in. Congratulations on a tremendous effort.
First of all, let me say, Kelly, I love you. I'm sorry you couldn't be here for the first one, but Dad, I'm glad you got to see it here. But next thing, these Wood brothers are something else, aren't they? They did a great job. What a call there at the end. The car, that was the fastest that the car had been, and Best had drove, and they said, let's leave those tires on, just get a splash of gas, and that's what won me the race. Appreciate Davey. I raced him awfully hard there. I hope he understands that's the first one, and I wanted it awfully bad, but, thanks to Sitco giving me this opportunity, Ford, I certainly appreciate everything they've done for me, and these guys are just great.
Young man so emotional he can hardly talk. And Dale, the last couple of laps, there was some bumping out there. And tell us about your thoughts coming off turn 4 on that last lap. You can see the checkered flag getting ready to wave, and he had you by half a car length.
Yeah, he did. He got off the corner there. I thought maybe that I could run him out of racing room up there, but as good a driver as Davey is, he just held his own there. I tell you, this engine in this Ford here really ran good, and I'm just as happy as I can be right now.
Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this top 10 list. Now let's get right back into the video.
But now I guess we can talk about our picks for his home track, Michigan. Speaking of Brad Keselowski, we got the Xfinity and the Cup racing there only. So for the Xfinity, I think AJ Allmendinger is going to go back-to-back.
I mean, I don't dislike AJ, but I just don't want to see that happen. And I'm looking at the Xfinity entry list, right? One driver I want to say is really cool seeing this entry list. I don't want to butcher his name, but Akinori Ogata. He's ran in some other series. It's cool to see him get Xfinity part-time probably. And this is going to be a tough one because I want to say like Daniel Hamrick, and I picked him so many times this year, but every time I pick him, he does horrible, so I'm not going to. I want to say I'm gonna have a risky one. I feel risky today. I really do. I'm going to say Riley Herbst wins.
Riley Herbst.
Ooh. Man, I don't know. I'm really caught up in the trap here. I'm going to just play it safe and go with what Mike said and go AJ because I know he won last year, so I think he could pull it off again.
And for the Cup Series race, I'm going to go ahead and say Kyle Larson.
I just want to see people, like any of us have a different pick than each other in any series. But anyways, so for Cup, Joey's tempting because he's won here multiple times. And I want to say Joey, but I'm not going to go Joey. As much as I don't like the dude, I'm going to say Denny Hamlin wins.
Man, I'm going Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's got it again. I think Ryan Blaney's got it again. You know, he like I said, I'm telling you, he's one of those guys who's continuously been just getting faster and faster. And, at Michigan, he's always done great. So I think he could pull it off again.
Yeah, that's a great point, Cam. I mean, Ryan Blaney is definitely someone I look at as being someone that can contend for the win here. He's won here many times. And the only reason why I didn't pick him is because every time I picked him this year at tracks he's run well at, he's wrecked. So if I were to pick him, he would wreck. So I'm not going to pick Blaney just because I want to see him do well. I want to see him lock himself into the playoffs.
Right. And so with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials, join the official Nasboys Fantasy League, and follow the NASCAR Onboards account. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace. Subscriber Denny will tamper with you.
Calling
you wanted what I